Hi, I'm Norman A. Hood, financial advisor and host of the Exit Plan Show. I interview America's top advisors like today's guest, Peter Donahoe of Donahoe Irvin here in Indianapolis, Indiana. We help business owners enjoy more personal freedom, grow their companies faster, and transition ownership seamlessly when the time comes. Welcome to the show, Peter.
Thank you. Nice to be here.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you.
So let's start out. Could you just tell us a little bit about your background and your career path up until now?
Sure. I am an accounting graduate from Indiana University. I started off on a path to be a CPA, and I did that after undergraduate college for a couple years. Then I went to law school at night, and ended up getting a joint MBA law degree at night in 5 years. Graduated, and ended up working 4 more years in a CPA firm tax department. I like to mention too, during law school I worked for the IRS. I like to tell people I was behind enemy lines for a little while.
That helps.
And then after 4 years out of law school, I got on with my first law firm, and I've been practicing business and tax and real estate law ever since, and have found my path to my own firm that you named a minute ago.
Okay. Well, I know another guest suggested you for a show, and I'm sure he knows you pretty well. He wouldn't have suggested you. But to our audience out there, how would the people that know you the very best, how do you think they'd describe you?
Well, I like to think as a nice and kind for openers, which isn't legal or technical, but I want people to, I want to be that kind of a person. I want people to like me. I want them to think I'm conscientious and hardworking, and I'll work with them to help achieve their goals until the job is done, and at a moderate cost. And we like to think in our small office that we bring a lot of what larger law firms can bring, but you'll get responsiveness from us and promptness, and we'll get through the job efficiently and quickly. Okay.
So do you think that's what differentiates you maybe from some of the other firms, is the ability to get things done faster maybe? And
well, yes. We like to think we're responsive. We are responsive. A lot of times people have an experience with a firm where the appointment is 2 weeks out from when you call or something like that. We have a lot of flexibility. We're nimble and agile, and so yes, responsiveness is really something I sell. You know?
Okay. Donahoe Irvin, you mentioned those 3 years. Is there anything else you focus on, or is that pretty much your primary focus?
Well, we do, again, I do all sorts of business transactions, contracts, buying and selling businesses. As an old tax-focused person, I'll handle the tax issues, analyzing, we might talk more about that later, but taxation upon selling your business. Are there ways to do it without tax or minimize the tax? Real estate's usually involved. I'm also an estate planning lawyer, wills and trusts, and estate administration when people pass away. So we follow it all the way through. We've seen businesses in estates, which is something we want to have exited before we become an estate, but that happens. So those are we also, my partner does litigation, so if something has to go to court, we're there for that as well. But that's not me, that's not my personality, and that pretty well covers it.
Okay. Is there any one particular area that you personally like the best?
Well, I like working with small business owners and owners of closely held companies. Many of my estate planning clients are small business owners, because that's what really generates the wealth in our society. And then, of course, as they get older, they are looking at issues of exiting one way or another, transitioning to family members, key employees, or selling it outright if there's no one in the picture like that. Okay. So that's probably what I like the best.
Okay. We work with a lot of business owners, and I'm always surprised at how many business owners haven't been to an attorney to do any estate planning or business planning. And if you were going to give one tip to a business owner that was thinking about the exit planning process and trying to connect with an attorney, what do you think would be the best tip you could give them?
Well, it's not to restate your question or throw the answer back at you, but it is to think about the exit process. A lot of people, I think, don't ever think about that. They've worked so hard to get where they are, to build what they've got. They usually love it. They have a passion for it, and they're not thinking about getting out.
Right.
But they need to, because age gets us all eventually.
It'll eventually get us out.
If we're lucky, as Johnny Carson used to say.
Yeah.
And or there could be other reasons, bringing in family members, but a lot of times that's what people just don't want to think about. You certainly don't want to think about death. You don't want to think about being out of the business or being too old to run it. So that's what I would say, is just realize this isn't going to last forever. There could be a number of scenarios where I need to get out, and I should have a plan for that.
Okay, good advice. Great interview. Thank you.
Thank you.
That was Peter Donahoe. He's with Donahoe Irvin here in Indianapolis, Indiana. If you have any questions, additional questions for Peter, you can contact him by visiting the show notes on our website, get his contact information. And thank you very much for joining us.